What's up, y'all? It's Friday. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for clicking on this video to give it a watch. I appreciate your continued support. Now, let's go ahead and get down to business. And I want to start off by talking about Nivea because she gave some very bad news during her performance/interview on Cadillac Chronicles. So Nivea revealed to the whole wide world that she was diagnosed with leukemia this year. Now, if I'm keeping it all the way a stack, I did hear about this information because I am close to a lot of people within the Atlanta rim, at least the entertainment rim. I lived there for over 10 years, but I'm not going to put something out like that. That's regarding her health, and who am I to disclose her medical issues? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I feel so bad for Nivea because if you know about her backstory, you will feel the same way as well. She's been through a lot already, but I'm pretty sure that she's up for the fight. She seems upbeat and she's ready for the challenge. Check out this clip.
Well, first of all, I was diagnosed with leukemia earlier this year.
Really?
Yes, and I'm so grateful to God. Been going through treatment and everything is going great so far, and I expect it to continue. Amen, amen, amen.
Absolutely.
And I'm very grateful for life. You know, it's so cliche to say, you don't know the time nor the hour, but it's true, and it just helped me put a lot of things in perspective, and I live in gratitude, like, religiously, and I'm just grateful for everything. Like, I'm doing things I want to do. I'm definitely back into my music.
All right, so we heard what Nivea had to say about the situation, and I'm digging the electricity that I see exuding throughout Nivea. And when I say electricity, what I mean is she's very much alive physically and mentally, because sometimes when you get such a horrible diagnosis like that, it can definitely put someone through a deep, dark depression. And so even though you're physically alive fighting the good fight, you're dead on the inside. And so I'm so glad to see Nivea with this positive attitude. I know that she's thinking about the well-being and the future of her children. Nivea is young. She's 44 years old, right? And I know that her children are thinking about the well-being of their mom, but I have faith at the end of the day that Nivea is going to come out of this victorious. So I'm going to keep her in my prayers and hope for the best. But anyway, let's move along because I want to talk about Chadwick Boseman. Now, if you guys haven't heard, CB's brothers, Derek and Kevin Boseman, have filed a lawsuit on behalf of his parents against his widow, Taylor Simone Ledward, to remove her as the administrator of Chadwick's estate. Now, the brothers are saying that Ledward has mismanaged the estate, left the family in the dark, and failed to fully execute a 2022 court-ordered distribution of assets. Now, it's important to note that Chad did not leave a will, but a 2022 agreement in a Los Angeles court order determined that half of the estate, minus legal and probate fees, would go to Ledward, and the other half would be evenly split between Chadwick's parents, Leroy and Carolyn Boseman. Now, it's important to note that CB's brothers filed this lawsuit against the widow on July 17th, so we're just a few days removed. Now, according to the lawsuit, the missing distributions include a long-term care insurance policy meant for the actor's mother that was never transferred, and that multiple bank accounts, residuals from SAG-AFTRA, and other assets have not been accounted for or dispersed. Maybe this is the reason why Malcolm Jamal Warner left everything in his mother's name. Now, the brothers also allege that Taylor has exerted unilateral control over Chadwick Boseman's company and his intellectual property, image rights, which has prevented the family from pursuing business opportunities related to his legacy. The family is now demanding that the court permanently strip Taylor of her administrative role, appoint a forensic accountant to take over the estate, and order a full accounting of all transactions. So again, here we go, proving that the old saying has always stood the test of time, that money is the root of all evil, because people are just not going to do right when it comes to money. I will say most people. Some people have integrity and they're going to do what's right, for both parties, for everybody involved. And so when you look at this situation, there's no reason why Taylor should not be honoring the court's orders to disperse this money out evenly like she was told to, right? There's no children involved. Chadwick did not have a child with her. She just wants to be greedy in this particular situation. She sees an opportunity to make more money and to capitalize off of the death of her husband. And basically that means more to her than giving CB's parents their just due. Because listen, Chadwick passed away in 2020. The court order was hammered down in 2022. They waited 4 more years to file a lawsuit saying, hey, where's the money at? You know what I'm saying? And so in my mind, given the amount of years that it took the family to get to this point, it doesn't seem to me that the family is money hungry, because once the court order was established back in 22, it's not like they were back in court 2023, 2024, or 2025 asking for the money. They waited 4 additional years to say, hey, now this is enough. Now, I do question why the brothers of CB is filing this lawsuit and not the parents. It could be some unknown health issues going on. Listen, I don't know. It's just a question that could be genuinely asked. But at the end of the day, this just highlights what type of person Taylor is. She's about herself. But anyway, let's move along, and I want to talk about something that Cardi B said. So there's this clip that's circulating where Cardi B is talking about the fact that if her sons got a girl pregnant and they were still living in her house, that they would have to get out and go get a job. You have to become a man. It's no more of my money, no more daddy's money, and so forth and so on. Let me play the clip and I'll be right back.
I would let my sons have girlfriends and everything. However, if my sons ever tell me that they have a girl pregnant, that is the day. I'm not the type of mom that is like, no, you can't have girls over and everything. I'm not that type of mom. But the day that you tell me that you got a girl pregnant, it will be the day that you will have to get the out of my house. And it's not because I'm mean. It's because once you make grown man decisions, you have to be a man. Okay? Once you decide that you're going to be that once you do a dumb decision to get a girl knocked up, that means you have to become a man. And when you become a man, it's no mommy's money, it's no daddy's money, it's no mommy's roof. You have to get out of my house and you have to get a job and you got to learn how to be a man.
All right, so feel free to drop down in the comments to correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see no other clips where Cardi said that she was holding her daughters to the same standard. So just based off of the clip that I just played you, it's okay for the daughter to get pregnant while still living at home with the mommy, and the daughters can get mommy's money and daddy's money, but the son has to get out because he got a girl pregnant and there's no more mommy and daddy's money, and he has to get out there and be a man. That's a very interesting take. Now, where I come from, it doesn't matter if you're the son or the daughter. That sentiment was applicable to both parties when it came down to parents giving the rules about bringing a child in their home at such a young age. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Cardi is going to have the same standard for her daughter, because if you don't, then that is very questionable. But I understand that those are her children. She set the ground rules, and I understand that to the 10th power. But let me say this, right? Becoming the man that I am today, I don't agree with a lot of parenting skills that were expressed back in the days, and this is one of them. Sure, it's devastating and debilitating when you have a child that goes out here at the age of 16 and gets someone else pregnant that is of the same age, right? And yes, they have to grow up and be a responsible adult fast. And it's imperative that you enjoy your teenage years. My mother used to tell me all the time, listen, enjoy your childhood, enjoy your teenage years, and don't be in a rush to grow up so fast, because one day this is going to be nostalgic for you. And she was absolutely right. Now, me, this is just how I think. I'm not kicking my kids out. It would extremely hurt me worse, and I'm going to be honest here, if my daughter got pregnant than my son. But I'm going to treat them the same. I'm just saying I would be hurt worse. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter got pregnant. Now, what I'm about to say, I know a lot of people may not feel this way, but I would be a different type of parent, because I feel like that even though my son or daughter got pregnant, once that baby is here, it's my responsibility too. And yes, my daughter or son will have to work to take care of that child, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to step in and provide my knowledge and provide the necessary means to make sure that my grandbaby is taken care of under any circumstances. And so I would rather for my child to be present in the home so I can monitor the situation. Now, of course, eventually I would like my son or daughter to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and get their own place and have a means to be able to take care of their child, but I'm still going to play an integral part in that child's life. That's my granddaughter or son. And I know the end goal is to make sure that they take full responsibility for their actions. And I understand that in its totality, but I just don't think that kicking your son out or daughter just because they're a teenager and there's a baby on the way is logically astute in that area nowadays. Because listen, I want you in my home each and every day, so every day that you slip up is every day that I'm going to hold your ass accountable. Now, I will say this about Cardi. I would like to know what age range she's talking about, because if I'm keeping it real, right, Latinos have a knack for their children staying at home forever in some cases, right? They will never kick their kids out. So is she speaking from the standpoint of them being teenagers and having a child, or, grown and having a child while still living in her house? I would like to know, because Latinos and other communities, I'm just keeping it 100, they are more in tune with making sure that their children make it, whether they are 30 still living at home with mommy until they can get out on their own 2 feet. That's what they'll do. They will have their children stay at home to make sure that they stack their bread, and once they get out there, they're out there and they can handle whatever is thrown at them. But anyway, this concludes what I have to talk about within this video. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and give your thoughts, all right? I want you guys to continue to have a fantastic day and have a blessed weekend.